cold. Neck knives. So as a YouTube, I guess you call me creator, I like to watch a lot of other YouTube videos. I like to binge watch YouTube videos. One of the things I like to watch is sharpening knives. I also like to watch about different kinds of knives. It's fun. Let's face it, we're bikers, right? And the stereotypical biker always has a knife hanging from his hip. It's part of the biker culture, is having a knife. Well, in the line of business that I do in my day job, I work in demolition field, and sometimes you gotta pop up floor tiles to look to see if there's any black mastic underneath and suspect items that could be asbestos related. So I always have a knife on me, but I always have a folding pocket knife on me. I like watching videos on how to sharpen that knife and practice sharpening that knife. But one of the popular things that came around probably a year or two ago was neck knives. And neck knives suddenly were all the rage. And everybody wanted a neck knife. Fortunately, throughout the years, I've had a few knives donated to me. One of them was a neck knife. I never have hung it around my neck. But yesterday I was scrolling through YouTube and saw a few videos. One popped up in my suggested feed about a neck knife and why you should carry it as a neck knife. And it made me wonder, how many other people out there carry neck knives around their neck? So let's talk about it. If you are new to this channel, I thank you for stopping by to watch this video. I hope you get something out of it. If you enjoy it, please stick around for a minute and check out some of the other videos I have. If you are a returning subscriber, I thank you for coming back. And don't forget, we have merch. The Yogi Cycle sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats, cups, all down below. If you look down below, you can find the link to Teespring, which is where our merch is at. So let's talk about neck knives. So I have a CKRT neck knife given to me by my good friend James. Thank you, James. And I was thinking, this doesn't have a lanyard on it to hang it around my neck, but maybe let's get some paracord and make a lanyard and let's hang around my neck. That way I have a neck knife. But really, as I was really watching these videos, and you have all those tactical guys out there like, oh yeah, you need this neck knife. That way, if you're in the woods, one knife is like having no knives, 2 knives is like having 1 knife, and 3 knives is just good. So if you're out in the woods and you only have 1 knife, you're an idiot. To which somebody commented and said, well, gee, I've gone into the woods with only 1 knife, and I guess that makes me an idiot. So I commented on there, I'm like, yep, guess I'm an idiot too. Because I go out in the woods and all I have is my folding knife. So I guess I'm an idiot. But that said, he did this whole little tutorial on neck knives, and he's talking about, that should be your EDC backup knife. I'm like, bro, you are a tool, man. But anyways, he had some points about carrying it as a backup knife, and I watched this other YouTuber. His name is Fingers Jaunch or something like that. He's actually an interesting story. He is, I think I don't know if he's still a cop, but he used to be a cop. And he used to be a cop who infiltrated 1% clubs. So he's kind of like I don't know if you call him a rat, because he's actually Leo. But he said that him and a lot of the guys in his club that he rode with used to carry neck knives. Interestingly enough, one of the reasons being is, when you're frisked by an officer, one of the places they rarely check is your, in between your pecs on your chest. So a lot of the guys would carry neck knives because, if you're getting frisked by the cops, they'll look on your hip and they'll take the knife off your hip. They won't see the knife on your chest. I was like, that's an interesting idea. Not that I worry about being frisked by a police officer. I just thought it was an interesting concept. Anyways, the other thing I was thinking about is, if you are, because I do carry a firearm on me. And you know, if something were to get sketchy, that would be my first line of defense. I do not think a neck knife or a folding pocket knife would be my first line, method of defense. And here's why. Because a pocket knife, obviously, it's in your pocket. It's going to take you a minute to get it out and get it open. So there's certainly nothing that's a fast defense item. A neck knife, if you carry it concealed inside your shirt, then you got to lift your shirt up, stick your hand up in your shirt to get to the knife, to then pull it and get it out of your shirt. So it is certainly should not probably be your first line of defense. Now, as a backup, I could understand it as a backup, but really, do you really need a backup knife? I mean, what do you need a backup knife for? I don't know if I really understand that concept. Like, in case you break your first knife, well, if you broke your primary knife, it's probably a pretty crappy piece of knife. I mean, come on, let's face it. And you're gonna get into like a mad stabbing fest or a sword fight with it? I mean, I don't know. To me, it's just a backup knife. It just seems stupid. But I'm just thinking really of the practicality of a neck knife. And maybe I'm over analyzing this, but if I ever need a knife, how many times am I really going to reach up and inside my shirt to get this knife out? Because I tell you now, I'm not going to carry it on the outside of my shirt. Because that's just stupid. Well, maybe it's not stupid. Maybe there are some people who really like carrying neck knives on the outside of their shirt, and I don't want to take away from that. But I would just not see me carrying a neck knife on the outside of my shirt. So I guess I don't really understand. You know, if I'm going to have a backup knife, I'd rather have like a boot knife. And I just haven't found a, you know, I wear cowboy boots when I ride. Those, right there. And now they're covered, because it's, again, 26 degrees out. Now they're covered with chaps. So if I had a boot knife, yeah, I'd have to unbutton my chaps, unzip them to get to the knife to get it out to use it. So really having a boot knife the way I'm dressed today would not make sense at all. It would take way too long to get to it, and by the time I went to cut whatever it was I was cutting, 10 other people would be going, here man, here use my knife. You know? So, and granted, the way I'm dressed now, I got my vest on, I got a jacket on, I got a sweatshirt on, I got a t-shirt on, I got my freeze out gear on, and then another t-shirt on. And in between which layers would I have my neck knife? Because when I unzip my coat, I don't want this big neck knife, you know, on the outside of my sweatshirt. I just don't see the practicality of it. So I ask you, my viewers in the YouTube community, you know, educate me on this neck knife. Why? Why do I want to carry that? Why should I carry that? And do you put it on top of your t-shirt? Do you conceal it under your t-shirt? Do you ever use it? Because if I had a neck knife on me, I am sure I would much rather just reach into my pocket, pull out my folding knife, and use that. You know, even when I do carry a knife on my hip, I could see the practicality of wearing those knives. And you know, when I've worn them, I've just very rarely used them. I don't know why. I don't use them. I'll pull my folding knife out. So I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on neck knives? Do you carry one? And if you do carry one, where do you carry it? On the inside or the outside of your shirt? Why do you carry it? And do you ever use it? Is that like your primary go-to knife? So I'm curious. I just don't know. So I thank you for joining us. Thank you for this little rant on knives. And leave me your comments, because I'm just really curious what your thoughts are. So if you would, and you haven't done it yet, go ahead and mash that subscribe button. And I'll see you on the next video. All right, Yogi, go ahead. Peace.